Hello guys, so here's my review of the Grizzly. I've been working on this knife for a while now and I'm happy to finally present it to you guys. So as you can see, the knife is roughly the same size as the Kodiak, but there's some major differences. So let's bring it out of the sheath. So as you can see here, the knife has a pretty generous finger choil, so that really helps if you want to choke up. So one of the reasons I did this is that some people really like the Kodiak. They really wanted the knife with a finger choil, so here it is. That's the option. On top of it, I changed the tip section a bit. So here you see we have a clip point, a partial clip point with a drop point. I thought it was a nice feature. So that allows to have a slightly thinner tip, but it still remains very robust for batoning, etc., so it won't break. So this knife here is made out of K329 steel. That's pretty much the same thing as A8 mod. It's a very tough steel, very high toughness, but it has 8% chromium, so at the same time it's a semi-stainless steel. Also has some pretty decent wear resistance as well. Alright, so here it is with some family members. On top here we have the Kodiak, which you already saw. Here we have the Grizzly, and here we have the Mountain Lion. So you see these have some similar features, like the tip and the finger choil. And here the Grizzly is about 15 inches overall, with roughly a 10-inch blade. And the thickness of the stock we use is 6 millimeter. So that's roughly close to a 1/4 inch. So it's a nice beefy knife. All right, so let's look at the weight of the Grizzly. All right, so here we go. So the knife itself is 686 grams. So this translates to 1 pound, 8 ounces. Okay, so I already used this knife quite extensively. All the footage you're gonna see afterwards was done before I actually did the initial sharpness testing. So let's do that right now. Super sharp. So that's very nice. So after all the batoning, chopping, etc., still very, very sharp. So let's do some more cutting tests. All right, so we'll just start with some regular paracord here. No problem, really goes through easy. Let's double it up here. Super easy. All right, and finally I got this pretty thick rope. Let's give it a shot. Easy, no problem. All right, so let's stop talking and get outside. So here we did some limbing. As you can see, the knife is pretty efficient to remove these branches. Then we went on to do some chopping. Started with a pretty small tree, no problem, very quick. Moved on to something a bit bigger. And as you can see, your knife is very efficient for chopping. Really removes some very large chunks of wood. And the handle is very comfortable, so you can get that job done very easily. All right, and then we moved on to even a bigger tree that was blocking the way. So it was a bit rotten, but the core was still hard. And you can see here, it goes through like butter, no problem. All right, so after that, we tested the tip strength. So as you can see here, we did some prying on this log there, went pretty hard at it, and there was absolutely no deformation to the tip. So very robust, no problem. All right, so we also tested the 90-degree spine. As you can see, throw sparks easy. Then we moved on to some batoning. We started with some smaller stuff, moved up our way to bigger logs, and it went through knots like effortlessly. So definitely a very good knife for batoning. Alright, so even though it's a big knife, you can choke up on it using that finger choil, and you can make some pretty decent feather sticks. So that's one of the objectives with this knife, is to keep it as multifunctional as possible. Try to make it a one tool option like the Kodiak, but for people who really like to have that finger choil. And I think it's pretty comfortable, and you can really get some nice curls there. So if you need to make some tent pegs, etc., you can definitely use it for notching, no problem. Very sharp, and it works well.